Welcome to Tripura Info News Update.
We had a workshop on the Waqf Sudhar Abhiyan, which is a very important Abhiyan for our party. Just 1 week back, in both the houses of the parliament, our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji led government passed this very important bill, the Waqf Abhiyan bill, the Waqf Amendment Bill, the Umeed Bill, which is aimed to uplift millions of our poor citizens, including the minority and the Muslim community. India, as you all know, there was a report that was made during the UPA time itself, the Sachar Committee. And according to the Sachar Committee, India is a country that has almost 37 lakh acres of Waqf land. This is the country with the largest Waqf land in the world. This is the largest private land bank in the world. And according to a report during the UPA time itself, this was worth almost 10 lakh crores in 2006, which in 2006 should have got us an income of almost 12,000 crores. But then the registered income from this was 162. Now, 20 years later, I am sure the numbers will be much higher. Yet, the Waqf boards over time became a den of opaque practices, corruption and malpractices. The Waqf boards were meant to uplift and support the poor Muslim community, but they were excluded from all their practices. And finally, it took the courage and the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji to ensure that this was cleaned. There was transparency, there is efficiency, and the Waqf boards are modernized. Now, according to the new Waqf laws after the Waqf Amendment Bill, now it is important that in the next 6 months itself, every single Waqf property across India should be registered. Now, all the income that is coming out of these Waqf boards should be going for their intended purpose, and that is to uplift poor Muslim families, including women, including orphans, including diverse women. And now after the new Waqf amendments, now it is important that even marginalized minority Muslims, including Bohras, Ahmadiyyas, Aga Ghanis, they all can also form their Waqf boards and they can also be a part of this process.
To the court, do you think this will bring transparency also in the new change that is taking place?
Thank you for the question. I believe that I had already gone through it earlier. Yes, you are right, and that is when after the new amendments, already it is a law, the President has already signed the bill. And now, from now on, there will be a lot of transparency because in the next 6 months, every single Waqf property have to be registered. And you can only register if you actually have the requisite documents. And then, yes, every amount that comes out of these Waqf properties also, it has to go for their intended cause, and that is to support poor Muslim families. Now you cannot divert it to wherever you want. It has to go for their intended cause. There is a lot of misconception that is spread by our opposition, and that is the government of India is trying to take over Waqf properties. No, this is never the intention. The Honorable Home Minister himself in the floor of the Parliament had very clearly mentioned there is a difference between Waqf and Waqf board. Waqf board is just it is an organization. It is a statutory organization, a regulatory organization that is just created to administer these Waqf properties. The government of India is not doing anything with any of these Waqf properties. They are including religious sites. The government of India is not doing anything there. The government is only creating some reforms in the administrative setup, which is a Waqf board, where now at least 2 women has to be there. Now at least 2 non-Muslims has to be there. All that to increase transparency. But it is an administrative setup, and the government has ensured now the administrative setup has to follow regulations to ensure that there is transparency, to ensure that there is accountability, and to ensure that the actual recipients of Waqf, the amount that is coming out. Chief Minister of Tripura, Sri Biplab Devji, the people, we are not doing anything with any of the religious sites. The government is not meddling with anything. In huge difference here.
Subscribe to Tripurainfo and press the bell icon so that you never miss any latest updates and news on Tripura.